What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Nothing is as easy to enjoy as a Sunday full of football and a fridge full of beer. Here are the games we're locking in on, starting with Cowboys-Dolphins. This has the highest point total of the week, guys, by quite a large margin, set at 50. The Dolphins are favored by a point. Matthew, I'll start you off with this. I think we get a bounce-back performance from this Dallas offense that just looked completely lost last week.
I hope so, although they've been bad on the road. Like, you think about what they are. When they're at home, they're averaging basically 40 points a game, right? That's best in the NFL. They're averaging over 431 yards in offense, third best in the NFL. When they're on the road, 21 points a game, 300 total yards a game. Like, all of those are like either middle of the pack or below average. So they've been bad on the road. This game is in Miami at the Dolphins. Now, you saw it on the screen. I have Pollard, Lamb, and Prescott all as top 10 options this week. Prescott's QB 7, CeeDee Lamb, my guy 8's wide receiver 2. I have him against Jay. So listen, 8's, you're my only hope. Help me, CeeDee Lamb. You're my only hope.
Come on, Jalen Ramsey.
Right. I need. I got to get in my Princess Leia outfit. Help me, CeeDee Lamb. You're my only hope. I have Pollard at running back 9 here. The positives on Pollard, at least 19 touches in 3 of the last 4. But make no mistake, he's considered like Falcons. The Dolphins allow the 6th fewest fantasy points per game to opposing running backs here. And again, they're bad on the road. This is an important game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and with the Cowboys as well. Tyron Smith is in some doubt. Zach Martin is in some doubt. Those are the 2 best guys on their offensive line for a team that already struggles on the road. And also, it's not just how they've been dominant at home. They've been dominant against bad defenses as well. The way they lit up Philadelphia, the way they lit up your Commanders, the Rams in the Dome. They don't have a great pass defense. Now, all of a sudden, you get this Miami team that has been great defensively and also is getting guys back. We had Javon Holland at practice. Deshaun Elliott looks like he's going to clear concussion protocol. So you get both their safeties back. With this new Jalen Ramsey-inspired Dolphins defense, I think the Cowboys might be in some trouble. I don't really know what that means fantasy-wise because he's still starting Dak, CD, Pollard. I'll be starting my man Jake Ferguson against you, Matthew.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be expecting perhaps the fireworks that they'd put up in that stretch.
I mean, but it'll be 2 touchdowns for Jake Ferguson.
I certainly hope
CeeDee Lamb will have like a Cooper Kupp last night type game.
Yes.
Jalen Ramsey will follow him.
Right, for 4 for 40.
Yeah.
Probably drop a touchdown. And Jake Ferguson is going to have like 2 touchdowns.
Block for the big fella, Aids. Yeah, Jake Ferguson is the centerpiece of this offense.
Our next game.
Annoying. It is all lining up for you to win. This sucks so bad.
I'm favorite.
The Lions at the Vikings.
I was favored by like 15 going into last night, and now I'm
no mas.
No mas. Yeah, he's favored.
The Lions favored by 3 points against Minnesota on the road. The over-under is 47.5. Now, Jay, the bright side for Minnesota going into this game is while Alexander Mattison has been down, Ty Chandler has looked quite good. Can he keep it going against a tougher opponent here?
I think he can to an extent. This is, as you mentioned, a much tougher opponent. The Bengals' run defense is not very good at all. But I think the main thing for Chandler is just, I think he has established himself as clearly the guy in this backfield, regardless of whether Madison actually suits up. Kevin O'Connell was very blunt with his comments about that, saying Ty Chandler will be the featured guy in this offense. If Madison can get back for depth, great. If not, we ride with Ty effectively. So tougher matchup, but I think with the workload, and the fact that they won't want Nick Mullins to drop back 50 times, I think Ty Chandler can be started with
96% of the team's running back touches last week. He played 81% of the snaps. To your point, with Madison out, it doesn't look like he's trending towards playing again. I'm with you. Even if Madison plays, I don't care. Ty Chandler's their best player in the run game, and so I think somebody who, by the way, has a double-digit target share in 2 of the last 4 games. So Chandler is one of these guys that can be involved on all 3 downs, and so I like Chandler. I also, especially because you're starting Nick Mullins against me, what he's going to do is he's going to dump it off to Ty Chandler.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 yards, and then he's going to run 70 yards for a touchdown because that's obviously going to happen.
You fear Mullins, don't you?
I fear Mullins. 1,000%. You know what? I was just thinking about this. You're bitching about losing Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert wasn't getting you 25 points the way Derek Carr did last night.
Sure.
He probably wouldn't even get you whatever Nick Mullins is going to get you tomorrow.
Nick Mullins is going to
Justin Herbert did you a favor.
Yeah. Nick Mullins is the ultimate fantasy quarterback. He's going to have 3 picks and cost Minnesota the game, but he's going to put up 24 points in the process.
That's 100%. That's how it's happening.
Yeah,
that's how it's happening.
Our last game, of course, Ravens at 49ers. This could be a Super Bowl preview here, guys. The point total is at 47. The Ravens, they're underdogs by 5.5 points. Matthew, can you trust any Baltimore running back with Keaton Mitchell out for the year, or does this just make Lamar's rushing impact even larger?
I think that's it. I think also as an underdog. Look, we haven't seen this before. The Ravens have been favored in almost every single game. They've sort of instilled their will against opposing teams, and they run it, whether it's Gus Edwards or Keaton Mitchell or Justice Hill or Lamar Jackson. They've just been able to run the ball because they've been up. They haven't had to be in comeback mode, in crazy comeback mode. They might, I don't know if they're going to be in crazy comeback mode, but you don't love either of these guys. In a semifinal week here, fantasy playoffs, I just wouldn't want to take a chance here with either one of the guys. You would expect, because they're likely to be passing because they're down more, maybe Justice Hill. But, he's played 6 full games so far this year, 60% of the pass plays in 4 of the 6 games for Justice Hill. So he is their passing down back. But, how much can you trust that in his first game in more of a featured role? On the road at San Francisco, it's worth noting the Niners have allowed just 1 rushing touchdown to quarterbacks this season, so maybe Lamar's a little bit more limited. But Gus Edwards, if he doesn't score a touchdown, it's single-digit fantasy points. It honestly feels like you're starting Lamar Jackson, you're starting Isaiah Likely, maybe you're starting Zay Flowers if you feel like it.
What about Odell with the illness?
Odell, but honestly, I feel much better about the Niners than I do about the Ravens on the road at San Francisco. Lamar and Likely are the only guys that I feel confident in starting just because of the tight end position.
Yep. It's going to be famous last words, but I think a reckoning is coming for Baltimore on Monday night. I think the Niners are a tier above, and I think that the Ravens, their offense has been so successful because they've been able to be in these run scripts. They're just ahead all the time. They never have to just drop back and throw. And against this Niners defense, I think they're going to have to do that, and I think that they might not be able to keep pace with the Niners. The one thing that is in Baltimore's favor, Arik Armstead, Javon Hargrave, they missed last week. They did not practice yesterday. That is one to monitor because that is their run defense. Those 2 big guys in the middle. If they can't go, then the Niners could be in a bit of trouble against the run. But at the same time, I'm not even sure how much it matters because the offense is so good for the Niners. Now, the one thing is that if you were to design a defense in a lab to stop the Niners, you'd want Kyle Hamilton, you'd want Roquan Smith. So this is going to be Brock Purdy's toughest test, but I think he can pass it.
I will say this. You think about weeks 1 through 8 before Keaton Mitchell showed up. Gus Edwards was averaging over 11 fantasy points per game. Justice Hill, just 8 points per game, playing only 41% of the snaps. That's Hill. So I do think that if you are starting a Ravens running back this week, again, ideally you're avoiding it. But if you are, feels like Gus Edwards because he's got the better. I know that in theory they're going to be down and they'll be throwing, but Edwards at least has, I think, the better chance at a touchdown. And at least, in terms of numbers, I don't know. It's a dice throw with either one of these guys.
Yep.
That'll do it for What's on Tap, presented by Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. We are taking our last break, but when we're back for Last Call, we got pickup lines for Matthew. Maybe our best betting segment of the year so far, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.